LeadMN accomplished a lot in the past year. Here are 21 successes from 2021.
Even though the pandemic made things difficult, we held 90 virtual meetings with state legislators and members of Congress to ensure that student voices were being heard.
Following our advocacy and testimony, the Minnesota legislature passed the Mental Health Awareness Act, which allocated $1.5 million to help implement mental health awareness programs at each Minnesota state college and university.
We lobbied and helped win $65 billion for broadband in the bipartisan infrastructure law. In fact, our advocacy fellow, Amanda Schermerhorn, met with Vice President Kamala Harris to share her story on how students struggle with access to broadband at Greater Minnesota.
We talked to students about college affordability at 20 Welcome Week events across the state.
We designated 19 hunger-free campuses. These campuses are committed to offering support for students struggling with food insecurity. They provide hope by hosting food distribution days, opening food shelves, and providing information and support on SNAP benefits.
LeadMN President Axel Kylander lobbied in Washington, D.C. for free college as part of an effort organized by RISE.
We sent 10,215 letters to policymakers to advocate for college affordability.
We traveled 4,557 miles on 69 campus visits.
We secured a $2.8 million refund to students for online tuition surcharges.
We registered 374 students at 14 National Voter Registration Day events.
We distributed 245 shots at 15 flu clinics this year.
We continued and expanded the emergency grant program. So far, we've given out about $40,000 in emergency aid to students.
We also published the Campus Scorecard Project, bringing data transparency to how Minnesota's community and technical colleges perform in 6 key areas: attainment, developmental education, transfer, affordability, equity, and voting.
We joined the Equity 2030 Coalition, which seeks to eliminate educational opportunity gaps at all of Minnesota State's colleges and universities.
We worked with legislators to pass the Basic Needs Barrier Reduction Act, which allocated $1 million to Minnesota State colleges and universities to help connect students to SNAP benefits and fight food insecurity.
We launched a new student leadership curriculum and began welcoming students back for in-person conferences and events.
We celebrated 70% student voter turnout in the 2020 election by hosting the Minnesota Democracy Cup, bringing together campuses from across the state.
We also published the State of Student Voting Report, which highlights successful campus voting strategies and analyzes student voting data across Minnesota's higher education institutions.
We encouraged Minnesota State to broaden tuition waiver eligibility given the COVID-19 pandemic, meaning students with mental health concerns and childcare issues were able to get their money back if they needed to drop a course.
LeadMN dispersed 116 scholarships, totaling $73,250, helping students fund their education.
We centered equity and inclusion by hosting the Advocacy Zoom Social. We also launched Radical Spaces, which is an opportunity for students to gather and develop a lens on equity and inclusion while still building community.
We've been busy here at LeadMN, and you can bet that in 2022, we'll continue to show up and serve students.